welcome to day number 3 here at the PDRA on motormaniatv.com. What you're looking at here, if I can pull this back just a little bit, are the results of one of the most horrific crashes in drag racing history. It happened last night when Jim Bell's Pro-Line racing machine went into the wall at about 180 plus miles per hour. Horrific accident. If you didn't see it last night on Motor Mania TV, I'm sure you've seen it somewhere on a website or on YouTube somewhere. Somebody's got it. One of the most horrific crashes you'll ever see. We can pan our way over this way, Jimmy Biggs, if you'll follow me, and I'll show you some more of the results of this thing. Now, Jimmy Biggs, my photographer and cameraman here, was with us when this happened, and everybody knows, and everybody held their collective breaths. Watch the wheelie bar right there. I want to show you the remnants, if you will, of part of the carbon fiber that was left on this car. Now, Jim Bell is 70 years of age or close to it. Been racing for a long, long time and runs the precision turbo stuff and also runs, again, the power plant. And this is a fast race car, turbocharged machine. Took a long time to get him out of the car, horrendous crash. Left out here last night and nobody really knowing exactly what his condition was. If you'll follow me over here, I'm going to walk inside this coach, and I'm going to show you something that'll blow your mind. And it's proof of the pudding, Jim, if you could follow me right here, that these cars are safe. Now, a little worse for wear and maybe a little bit dinged up, and in the comfort of his coach, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to Jim Bell. Jim, God bless you. Man, how are you feeling?
Well, a little, more than a little worse for wear, a lot worse for wear. But real glad to be on this side of the ground. And, you know, like Eric and I were just kind of revisiting the incident there last night. And Eric was saying, you know, we all agreed that I let the car get too far over to the left, get too far over close to the left-hand wall. And I tried to bring it back. But, you know, and I've only been driving for a year. These cars react really, really quickly. And probably the reason the car jerked over and came, you know, heading towards the right-hand wall at a 45-degree angle is because just too much of a correct. If as slight as the correction is, and I've got a clear understanding of that, it was too much of a correction. So all of a sudden the car's up on its roof, and I knew, you know, there's not a whole bunch you can do to save it then. I just thought, man, this is going to hurt, okay? And that's exactly what it did. And so when the car stopped, I realized that I was okay. You know, but the from being upside down, your belt's right up higher. So, you know, the latching mechanism's right here, and it was just like really, really hurt. But the safety crew did, you know, like great job, you know, get me out of the car. I mean, of course it hurt because they're yanking and pulling on you. And they're, you know, super cognizant of not wanting to, you know, cause injury to your back. You know, stabilizing you, getting you on that board. You know, they treated me, you know, really, really well. Also want to say huge thank you to Jerry Bickle and his crew for building me, you know, like a real safe race car because, you know, like here's a car that goes into the wall 185, 190 miles an hour. You know, you're not going to drive a car into the wall on purpose like that. No. Trust me, and I didn't either. It's just, but it happened. And, you know, like hopefully we'd have to review the tape and have to review the data on RacePack and determine, other than letting the car drift over a little bit, did I do anything wrong? Okay, and if I did, obviously I want to learn from that mistake. But, you know, like my guys were really, really good. Everything went really well, and you know, my good friend Eric Dillard here, the owner and general manager of Pro-Line Engines, the company that, you know, builds the power plants for all these really fast cars, you know, is you know, he was right there, phoned my wife, and you know, treated me like gold. And one of the best things that I really like about drag racing is the fellowship. Yeah. You know, like all the new friends that I just, you know, I'm 69 years old. I'll be 70 in August. But I'm, you know, really physically fit and feel really good. And I want to, you know, and Eric and I are already talking, you know, like when I was talking to my guys last night, you know, we want to be at the next race, okay? And the next race is the next, you know, we're going to come back and support as many PDRA races as we can. But my crew chief, Rob Nascimento, and Tyler Coots, you know, we're real committed to running all, you know, 10 NHRA races. And our goal is we would like, even though I'm a rookie driver, our goal is to finish in the top 10. And there's great support that we get from Proline. Whether it's the engine building, Doug Patton is the shop foreman and co-owner with Eric at Proline. But the big thing with these guys is it's a tripod. So like I said, you've got Eric, Doug, and Steve. And Steve Petty is the man. Okay, yeah. Not just as a tuner, but also as a chassis man. And it's just a great relationship. And I consider myself extremely fortunate that I ended up in Eric's shop. Because getting a car last year, like the fastest I'd ever been before, it was 850, and wow. And I'm in the performance automotive business, have been in for about 48 years, and about 3 years ago I was at the NHRA race in Vegas just prior to the SEMA show, and I saw Brad Personet's car run 595. 254 miles an hour, and I thought, wow, went over, and I didn't know Brad, I'd never met him, but I did know Harry Hariska, yeah. And I talked to them about their combination, and I just thought, you know what, I need to get me some of this before they put me in the ground, kind of deal. So that was one of my big influences to want to make that quantum leap and go pro mod racing, and some people say, because a lot of people are kind of, or you're the driver, kind of thing, and figured there should be a younger guy in there. But my lights are, they were not this weekend; they weren't very good. But like at the NHRA race, we did qualify for the Gator Nationals, out of a field of 27. I was real proud of that. We ran a 595.9 at I think 247, or maybe it was just a little bit less than that. But that was a real accomplishment for us to be able to do that, and especially when you look at the entry list, like a lot of hitter guys and stuff like that. But I mean, but one of the things that we didn't talk about here is the success of this PDRA event. Yeah. Like you and I had talked about it a little bit before when you said, "Hey Jim, can we come back and interview you?" And I was saying when we rolled in here Wednesday night, I thought, yeah, hey, there's a few cars here, and I was, I'd been to I think 2 XDRL races last year and 3 ADRL races, plus NEO, Northeast Outlaw Pro Mod Association, and 1 NHRA race, at the end of last year. And actually, at the beginning of the year, Eric drove my car at the Gators, and semi-finalist, did really well with that. Also drove the car at Bristol, and when we put, I drove my truck and trailer last year, 37,000 miles. Really? So, and to come down from Edmonton, Alberta, all the way to Georgia, which is Eric's shop is 1 hour north of Atlanta, Georgia. Yeah. And so that's my home base. That's where I keep the truck and trailer. And last year, a young fellow by the name of Tyler Coots, he and I ran the whole car by ourselves from May through till the end of November. But this year, I was fortunate enough to be able to get myself a real qualified crew chief, Rob Nascimito. And Rob was with Ron Kirshner's Pro Stock team for 3 years. He was with R2B2's race team for 2 years. So that was where he got his Pro Mod experience. And then last year he was cylinder head man with Steve Torrent's Top Fuel team. So, he's, very, very professional. Yeah. And Tyler's still on board. It's just a real good 3-man team type of thing. So, and we're already talking to Eric here. I definitely need a new car. I haven't gone out and had a look at the car, but the guys tell me Jim, don't waste your time getting it fixed. Yeah. It's hurt real bad, kind of thing. So we're looking at some options. Okay. My goal is I want to, be back out there and competing at the NHRA race in Houston. So anyway, yeah.
Real quickly, tell us about, any of those naysayers that would balk or whatever about the safety equipment necessary in these cars.
The safety equipment, You know, because a lot of people, you know, like when you see people suit up, and that's one of the cool things, especially for fans. And one of the best things about drag racing is the fans can get up close and personal, not like NASCAR racing. So when you walk through the staging lanes and you see all the drivers getting suited up, putting their safety equipment on, you know, whether it's fire protective clothing, fire protective boots, Hans or R3 type devices to ensure that should an accident like that happen, typically, if I did not have that on, I could have spinal cord, you know, injuries or neck injuries, and they, you know, had that figured out a few years ago. So that, you know, your safety belts, and like I said, you know, the cars are designed to crumple. You know, like, I mean, you know, and obviously the carbon fiber is not going to stop anybody from going anywhere, you know, kind of thing. But you know, the safety and the thought putting in is not just building a car to pass tech. You know, when the top chassis builders are building cars, they're building cars for the people that they sell them to for driver safety. I know that's real important to them, and like I say, I'm very thankful that it is important to them. You know,
and living proof while you're sitting here this morning. Jim Bell, I can't thank you enough, and oh man, you have made my day. I'm telling you the truth. I've seen a number of bad accidents, and that certainly was one of them. And to walk in here and see you here this morning, God bless you, my friend, and best of luck.
Thanks very much, Brian. You know, appreciate your kind words and other people coming by and stuff like that. But you know, like, it hurts to walk around. It just hurts all the time. I need to get to CVS there and pick up some more prescription. But they really don't help that much. You know, kind of thing. But I have talked to a couple of guys that said, hey, this is what you're going to deal with. This happened to me. You can expect this. You know, kind of thing. So again, Brian, thanks very much for coming by. A pleasure being interviewed by yourself, and you know, your announcing partner Al Tucci was by earlier on, stuff like that. So it's great, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Jim.
Congratulations once again to PDRA. Like, this event, you know, people might have thought, well, it could be pretty successful. It is wildly successful, not only in terms of car count, okay, but number of spectators here. The event had to be extremely well promoted, and it's not just their format of a carload of people for $20. Hey, there was other people that were doing that previously, but like I said, I was at 5 or 6 of those races last year, and there was no fans. And here it's like standing room only kind of thing. So very cool.
Thanks so much. I got to say, Jimmy, again, I've been around the block, and so have you. We saw the accident last night. We'll probably show a little bit today along with this interview, but it is a living testament, this man sitting here, of the safety rules for these race cars, that Jim Bell, and I almost hate to touch him because I know he's hurting everywhere, is alive and kicking, and be ready to put together another race car to continue with us here at the PDRA. For PDRA 660 TV, I'm Brian Olson. We'll be back with you in a little while. Thank you.